Hi guys, I'm back today with a video all about Drunk Elephant. And before we talk about Drunk Elephant, let's talk about the other elephant in the room, which is my terrible eye makeup. My husband hates it, I hate it. Kind of all of my face is weird today. The only good thing that I'm wearing is my lipstick, my Wayne Goss lipstick. Thank you for saving the day. So, now that that is done and over with, I'm going to talk about each of the products that I have and that I've used a few different times and my thoughts on them. So, I'm going to go pretty much in the order that I would do my skincare in, just so you guys have an idea. And I don't know, I won't separate it into like day and night, I'll kind of just combine it. So, the first thing that I used is their Beste No. 9 Jelly Cleanser, and this retails for $32. It's much bigger than this, but I brought all my like little versions of stuff because it's easier to carry it and fit it onto my desk. So let me tell you a little bit about this. It's a really it's a jelly. So it's like a gel consistency. It doesn't really foam. It lathers, but not super well. And it kind of has like a little bit of a, let me smell it again. It's been a hot second. It doesn't really have a smell, but almost has like a leftover remnant sweet smell. But I used this off and on. I used it for a month straight. And then before that, I'd also used it another time for like half a month. And I just don't like it as a cleanser personally. Like I've talked about in my other skincare videos, I am more of a foaming cleanser type of person. I really enjoy that. However, I probably shouldn't like foaming cleansers because my skin is more dry, and so I should really like something that's a little bit more milky. That being said, this is a gel and this doesn't really do a lot for me. I didn't see my skin improve at all, but it's not on your skin very long because you're just washing your face. So there is that. I'm going to forewarn you guys ahead of time. This might seem a little harsh, but I'm overall not super impressed this time around. Let me tell you also that I have rosacea. I have really sensitive skin. Let me think here, what else is wrong with my skin? I'm in my 30s, so I do have aging issues. I have lines under my eyes and around my mouth. I used to be a smoker. I'm not a smoker now. So I quit like over 3 years ago. And so obviously I have lines. I'm not perfect. I wish I was, but I'm not. So in any case, that's kind of what my skin type is like. And I will say this, I did recently, before I used Drunk Elephant this time, use CeraVe, and it really trashed my skin. It's weird because it's supposed to be such a good brand for people that have sensitive skin, and none of their products have any kind of fragrance or anything like that, and it really ruined my skin. So I took a little break before I started this. However, the first time I used Drunk Elephant products, that went much, much better than it went this time. So please take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. If you have sensitive skin, if you have rosacea, this may not be the brand for you. It just may not be. Or if you don't try a lot of stuff, it might be better suited for you. But I'm constantly trying to, give different brands a try and let you guys know and just let myself know what things work really well for my skin and what doesn't, so that I can eventually have like the ideal skincare kind of like setup. Words, it's hard. It's Sunday and it's raining and I feel like a nap is in order, but I wanted to cover this stuff with you guys. So the next thing that I would use just depends, like sometimes during the night. No, I would do this at night, but not in the day. Sometimes. It just depended because my skin is super sensitive. So if I take a shower at night, I'm not going to use this because for me, every time I use anything with vitamin C after a shower, my skin stings. So I just omitted using it after showers, which I usually shower at night. I know, kind of weird. In any case, so this is the C-Firma. This is the day serum. So it is, more suited for daytime, even though it's kind of interesting because vitamin C, they make your skin like photosensitive. So when you're out in the sun, you can get burnt if you're using things that have vitamin C, or anything that's got like a lemon extract or a lime extract or an orange extract or stuff like that. Like if you have those oils, essential oils in some of your skincare products, you got to make sure you're wearing a sunscreen. And even then it may not be enough and you may still have irritation with your skin. You may burn easier. If you have sensitive skin, you may really run into problems. So in any case, this I didn't wear during the day often. Usually it was at night and only if I didn't shower at night. So in any case, I didn't really find that I had any results with it. This is just me being honest. However, the B-Hydra I did like, and I do think in the future, I'll continue trying to use it without some of these other products and use it with things that I have used longer, like tried and true products for me. I'm going to keep using this a little bit more long term just to see how it affects my skin. And I do think the first time around, I really felt like it clarified my skin. My pores, I mean, your pores are never really smaller or bigger. I mean, they can be more filled with oil, but I feel like they did look a little smaller, even though they're not. It's just a visual thing. So it's all a lie. Your pores can never be smaller. It's a nice thought, but there you have it. Just so you guys know, the full size of the C-Firma Day Serum is $80, and the B-Hydra is $48, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So there's that. Then the next thing that I would use, and this is again only if I hadn't showered or hadn't washed my face with hot water, which I usually don't for this exact reason. I know a lot of people think that like getting your face super hot is really good for it. Now, I've watched a few channels and a few people that I would trust with skincare, and they have said that's not really the case. You don't need to have piping hot water to truly get your skin cleaned or anything like that. So take it with a grain of salt. This is the C-Tango Multivitamin Eye Cream, and I use this when I did not have hot water or a shower, and I still didn't see any results with it, to be honest. And in fact, I started getting texture underneath my eyes, and it's since improved since I've stopped using this about a week and a half ago. No, probably about a week ago. So for me, this is another one that I would go ahead and pass on, and this retails for $64. I did also try the Shaba eye serum, which is in like a mint container, and I didn't see anything with that either. And so for $60, I don't think I'd buy that either. I'm so sorry. I feel like this is just going to be the teardown of Drunk Elephant. But I don't mean for it to be. Something that I didn't bring in with me that I do really, really like is the Slay Makeup Remover. Now, that is like a really interesting kind of like hardened coconut oil type of feel. Now, I don't necessarily think it's all made up of coconut oil. I'm sure that's one of the ingredients. I don't have it in front of me, so I can't double check. But it works really, really nicely for taking off your makeup and your whole face. I've never had a problem with it on my skin. I think it does a really nice job. It doesn't have any smell, and honestly, it left my skin feeling really nice. Now, when you use something like that to take off your makeup, you still want to do a second cleanse every single time, so that's just my thing. Although I do think it left my skin like a little bit nicer when it was done. I think my skin would have been a lot worse had I not used the Slay Makeup Remover like every time that I did my makeup removal and skincare routine. Let me just say this now. This came in my little pack and I didn't use it because my skin is super sensitive and I was just too scared to try it. This, and I also have the retinol as well, and I haven't tried either one, and that's the a-passioni. And then this is the T.L.C. Sukari Baby Facial. And just so you guys know, the Sukari is $80 and it's kind of like this size. And then this is... Oh, I'm sorry, this is Sukari. The Sukari is $80, and then the a-passioni is either $28 for a smaller size or $74 for the full size. And I just didn't feel confident using either one of them because my skin was already so irritated by the point that I would have initially introduced something into my skincare line that was something that you would use to resurface your skin or to help with the aging in your skin. It just wasn't going to happen. My skin was so irritated by, I mean, the third day I was having problems with it. So I know, it's very disheartening, but at the same time, it's kind of not, because thank goodness, because this stuff is super expensive. So, I mean, for me, if skincare works really well, I don't mind paying a premium. Like, it's my skin, you only get one skin, I want to take care of it. I wasn't very good to my skin for many, many years. Like, when I was young, which I know I'm still young, but when I was really young, I used to, like, sleep in my makeup. I'd sleep with gum in my mouth. Who does that? Idiot! And I had the full, like, my eyes... I was kind of like emo kiddish or whatever, so I wore dark eyeshadow all the way around my eyes, and I slept in it. I got up the next day, I put more on, and I rolled. Who does that? In any case, so now I try really hard to take care of my skin, and I used to tan, like, all the time. So I'm trying to play catch up for the damage I've done to my skin. Yeah, good luck me. Anyway, so something that I did actually try was the T.L.C. Framboos. I hope I'm saying that right. Glycolic Night Serum. Now, let me preface what I'm about to say by telling you something else that I have said in another one of my skincare videos. I did used to abuse glycolic acid when I was younger. I didn't understand. It was inside of eczema pads or whatever. And I almost called them oxy pads as well. But there was another type of pad that you would just like rub all over your face. That was my version of skincare. And I had no idea that even if you have greasy skin or if you have oily skin, you should be using a moisturizer. And so I didn't. And so essentially I would just strip my skin several times a day and then do nothing to protect it. Or, okay, it's awful. Now that I'm looking back at it and thinking, I would use that, so like I would do essentially like an acid peel on my skin, and I would leave my skin raw and open. I wouldn't put any moisturizer, I didn't put any sunscreen, and then I'd go tanning. If only I could go back, if I could turn back time. That's how I feel right now. In any case, so I did actually use this a few times. Now, if I spread this out, this is the first time around, because I didn't try it this time because my skin got so irritated this time around. But the first time I used Drunk Elephant, my skin really didn't have any irritation. So it's weird. I don't know if it's just a time in my life that things are just changing in my skin. But when I used it the first time, as long as I spaced it out like every 4 or 5 days, this worked great. My skin looked so good, like refreshed and supple and so soft and really nice and just probably the best it would ever look, truthfully. So this is, in my opinion, very much worth the price. This is, okay, okay, maybe not worth the price, because it is bougie, like $90 or $134, but it does work. So I'll say that. Can you find another glycolic acid product that'll work just as well from like The Ordinary? Yes, in my opinion, yes. But if you want to get the little kit of these, that's kind of a good deal. Like when you can get it on sale at Sephora, they have like the kits, and then you get like, you know, your percentage off if you belong to their insider program. So that is the way I would do it and the way I have done it. So give it a shot that way if you are nervous about your skin and how it will react. But I can honestly say that this was kind of like a wonderful, wonderful product. And I was scared to try it, but it worked great. But if I did it too close together, then I would get like really flaky, itchy, and peely and red. Let me go back to that. In conjunction with this, I like to pair it with either the Marula oil or just mix it in with the Protini, the next thing I'm going to talk about, because it kind of lessens how potent it is on your skin. So that's something to keep in mind. I think that if you are sensitive like me, please mix it with a moisturizer or mix it with the Marula oil, or just take your time. Low and slow, low and slow. Anyway, sorry. Next thing was the Protini Polypeptide Cream. And this is a bestseller for a reason. It's a really great moisturizer. It's very thin. So right now for me, because my skin has been so dry, it wasn't perfect. But I think if I paired it with something else, because honestly, the Lala was kind of irritating my skin, I think. I don't know. But I would guess that. I would venture that guess. I'll get there in a second. So in any case, the first time around when I used this, I loved it. I thought it worked so good. My skin was a little less dry at that period. So I think that if you can be a little bit dry and this will work for you. But if you are like, girl, you dry, then you don't want to use this on its own. You want to pair it with like a skin oil or even another moisturizer over that, because this is almost, they've even said it, like I've read it somewhere, that this is almost like a serum to them. But I think if you mix this with a thicker moisturizer, and maybe the Lala will work for you in that case. For me, it didn't, just because it was really irritating my skin. Now, one more caveat to that is that I do wear a CPAP at night, and so I would get mostly irritated where my CPAP sits. And in fact, I've got kind of like perma indentations into my skin, and you'll be able to see that. But it would rub really, really raw, and those two things, like underneath that, just seem to really be irritated. In any case, like, it's weird because like my Tatcha does not do that. So I think that if you mix this with something else and you're really dry, this will be perfect for you. I think that this is a great summertime moisturizer, if you're going to use it that way. Or I think in conjunction with something else, I think you're going to be good to go. Or if your skin isn't dry, if you do have more oily to normal skin, I think that this is a great moisturizer. Now, this is, I do believe, $68. Yeah, it's $68, so it's not cheap. However, it takes you a really long time to go through it, and I love the full-size packaging of all of these items. Is probably one of my favorite things about Drunk Elephant. They have some of the most hygienic packaging that I've ever used, and I really appreciate that, because it's frustrating to dip your fingers into stuff. Even if your hands are clean, which I hope your hands are clean if you're washing your face, but even if they're not, you still have the opportunity to not let air or any other kind of dirt particles get inside of it because it's got like a little pump top, which I really enjoy it. Plus you get the perfect size for your whole face and makes it easy peasy lemon squeezy. Just happened. Okay, the next thing that I did use in conjunction with the Protini, because my skin is so dry, was the Lala Retro Whipped Cream. And this is like their heavier moisturizer. If you are somebody with oily skin or somebody, no, just oily skin. If you're somebody with oily skin, I don't think this is for you because it is a fairly oily moisturizer. Like it sits on the skin kind of weird. I don't love the texture. Now, let me say this. For the most part, nothing in here is like fragranced. Like they don't really add fragrance to things. So I think that's awesome and admirable. And I do, like I said, I like their packaging. Same with this one. This has the same type of packaging as the Protini, so it's just like you push down and the perfect amount comes out. You're good to go. You can put it on your face. For me, I feel like there's something in this that irritated my skin. I don't think it was any of the other stuff I used. I think that some of the other stuff, because I have sensitive skin, I needed to be more careful. I needed to be more careful with how I applied it to my face. But this in general, I can't even figure out what would irritate me because the list is actually so clean and so good. So I'm not exactly sure, but this retails for $60. And so if you are a dry girl or a normal to dry, I think that you would like this. I think it will be fine. If you are on the oily side, I just think maybe skip this and just get the Protini. You're going to be all right. Okay, so there's that. Then the next thing I'm going to talk about is the Marula oil. This I really like, actually. I love the texture of it. I think that it really just does a nice job of moisturizing your skin a little bit more. Now, they tout some other kind of benefits with it, but there's nothing that's backed up by what they've talked about, at least that I've read. So I'm just going to skip talking about that kind of stuff. But this does have a retail between $40 and $72 for different sizes. Now you can get it in a kit, and a lot of times on Sephora they'll offer, and probably Drunk Elephant's website as well, they'll offer like little kits where there's like 2 items in one or 6 items in another, stuff like that. And so you get a chance to try this. This is very nice. I think it's very, let me think here. It's not too heavy on your skin. You can feel it, but in a really nice way. So if you're somebody that's really dry, I think that this is a really nice addition to your skincare routine. Maybe at the very end to just kind of lock everything in after your moisturizer. You don't want to use your oil before your moisturizer. But I think that this is a really nice purchase. However, I will say, I've used the ordinary Marula oil, and it's very, very close. It doesn't dissipate on the skin as quickly as this one does. So, like, if you put this on, you're not going to feel it after a few minutes. Like, it's not going to feel like you're sticky or weird or anything like that. But the other one lasts just a little bit longer. But it's so much cheaper that it might be worth it for you. And I guess that's something I would say about all of Drunk Elephant's products. I think that the prices are very exorbitant, and I think that there's some really nice things here. But I think if you're not really sensitive, or even if you are, there's plenty of other even drugstore brands that now are going more clean and being more conscientious of stuff, and even their packaging has gotten better, that would be worth checking out for the difference in price. That's just my honest opinion. I'm so sorry. I do like a lot of things about Drunk Elephant, although this video kind of doesn't sound like that right now. But on to the next item. Okay, so this is the Umbra Tint Physical Daily Defense, and it's SPF of 30. I love this. I think this is super great, actually, in fact, because a lot of my foundations are geared towards my winter, like, skin, like, much, much fairer. I'm, like, this beauty light color of white during the winter. It's scary. But when I mix a little bit of this in with it, it's like the perfect color and texture. And especially for my dry skin, I've not had any issues with this. I will continue to use this. I really enjoy it. I think it doesn't have any, like, it doesn't really have, like, okay, SPF is always going to have a smell. That, at least in my opinion, I think they all have smells. But this isn't very strong. Like, I don't smell it, like, blatantly obvious. So I think it's really good. And I think $36, yes, that's expensive, but at the same time, protecting your skin from the sun is extremely important. So if you have sensitive skin, but maybe you want a little bit of tint to maybe liven up the color of your skin, I think this is a really nice thing to do. Plus, when my skin was looking so bad from the rest of everything here and kind of broken out and stuff, I really think that this perfected the way that my skin looked. So it was all a lie, but we could thank this. And was it worth the money? I think so, definitely. So the next items, I picked up some of the new skincare items that they just got. The first one being, this is the Sweet Pitti, and this is deodorant cream. I'm always looking at deodorants to see if I can't find something that's gonna like completely knock out my issues, I would say. I mean, I don't sweat a lot necessarily. I don't get real physical. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. But even when I do sweat, it's not like ridiculous. However, I feel like I never smell fresh, which is very frustrating to me. And that sounds awful. I shower, I bathe, I do all that kind of stuff. It's just, I think because I am sick a lot, I get stressed very easily. And so I think that when you're stressed, your body releases, you know, your whatever. I feel like that's why my armpits are never as fresh as they could be. This is a really strange conversation to have with somebody. Sorry. But in any case, and pretty much the only thing that works for me is Secret Clinical. And I hate it because it's expensive. And so is this. I mean, they're both expensive, but I was trying to go something that's aluminum free. Now, I know that there's, like, I don't know if you guys watch Dr. Dray at all. She's super, super intelligent. She's probably one of the smartest women I've ever seen. She's a dermatologist and she knows her stuff. And she was actually talking about how aluminum causing problems with your body is unfounded. I don't even want to go against anything she says because I'm not a doctor. That is not, guys, I am not a doctor. I am not an esthetician. I am not a skin specialist. I am none of those things. I am just giving like my perspective on how this kind of stuff works for me. But I will say, if I can avoid harsh chemicals and things like that in my body, what would I consider that? Love, what would you consider aluminum? A metal, a heavy metal. Never mind. Sorry. If I can avoid having like chemicals and heavy metals in my skincare, then I'm going to, because I just think that that's something that's not naturally occurring in your body. So why would I put it there? Unfortunately, my armpits need it. This is actually a pretty nice deodorant. Well, it's not, they call it a deodorant, but I don't really think it deodorizes. I do think it really helps with the sweating, but I don't sweat that much. So for me, this is kind of just like, meh, I don't know. For somebody that sweats a lot, that doesn't stink, this might be a really, so there's like animals everywhere. This might be a really good solution for you. So for $16, I think this is a win for somebody like that, but not necessarily for me. The last two things that I have, this is, I don't know if I'm going to say this right, but the Kamili Cream Body Cleanser. I feel like I'm going to waste the whole thing. Now, this is small because I got it in like a little Sephora thing. There's water in it because I showered with it. But in any case, I feel like I could use this whole bottle in one use. It feels like it's doing nothing on my skin. There's no lather to it. The smell is kind of like, ugh. The smell's the same as the deodorant. Somebody, actually it was Dr. Dray, she was talking about the smell of it, the sweet almond that is in it. It's very reminiscent of being young and the soaps that they would have in gyms and places like that. The pink soap, she talks about it. I'm going to link that video down below. I'm going to link that video down below because it was really good. But for me, that smell is just repugnant. I'm not into it. I'm like, nope. I feel like you're doing nothing to cleanse my body personally, and I don't like the smell. So $20, no thank you. The other thing that I tried was the Sili body lotion, and it's kind of the same deal here. This is thin, it smells just like the body wash and the deodorant, and I didn't feel super moisturized, so I will go ahead and pass on another $20 product. This is not $20, the full size is $20, but I didn't really feel like I got any benefit from it, so I'm so sorry. This is like the roast of Drunk Elephant. If you wanted to see the roast of Drunk Elephant, you came to the right channel. Welcome. I'm so sorry. But in any case, I hope that this was helpful to you guys. If it was, just give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, subscribe, and ring the bell for future updates. Apparently where I tear apart a brand. I actually feel really bad. I think that if you have like normal skin, normal to oily but not sensitive skin, or normal to dry and not sensitive skin, this would be a really nice brand. However, if you are sensitive, if you have rosacea, if you have any kind of issues, I would thoroughly suggest getting like a very small kit or even some samples from Sephora when they open back up and trying it that way before you invest your time and your money and possibly, I said good day. Invest your time. What is this? Whatever. Just try it before you full-size buy it. Anyway, I hope everybody has a great day, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.